This is one of the reasons why it's so important that Britain is part of a fully integrated European Union, because one of the great jobs that the European Union does, despite some of the negative things we hear, is that it takes a very strong role in creating exactly that standardization. So the whole Industry 4.0 initiative is already working very strongly with Brussels to make sure that standards are created as early as possible. And of course this is good for everybody, because that means it becomes an open technology, and it means that any startup company, any innovation company that wants to be part of that, provide its innovation, its software into that, is able to do that on the back of standards that are being defined earlier. And actually, therefore, it helps businesses to start up, for businesses to get markets to import to. So this point that you raise of standardization is very, very important, and my view is very clear that countries and organizations, we've got to be very engaged in that standard setting process, because we want it to be set in a way which ultimately suits the way in which we manufacture, we think is going to create the best efficiencies for our organizations. And if Britain misses out on that sort of a movement, and all the standards are set by somebody else, then you're not going to be as optimized as you would like to be in terms of being part of that ultimate movement. So, it's all very, very, very important, standardization. I mean, maybe just one more example, because it's one I use quite a lot and it's quite interesting. You take the automotive industry. One of the reasons why the automotive industry in the UK was in such a mess in the 1970s, and why that Morris Marina just didn't work, is because that industry had been hugely protected by Britain. So it was British bureaucrats that were basically creating all sorts of rules and regulation that were preventing other countries, other suppliers from other areas being able to deliver into that, because it was all designed to only be good for British companies. Now, on the one hand, you think, oh, well, that's fantastic, that sounds good, because it's all for British jobs. But actually what it does is it really reduces innovation, which is a point we were talking about earlier, because you actually want to be able to take the best global brains into these activities, and you can only do that if you make that open innovation, open standards, and allow people to contribute from certainly across Europe, but probably globally.